South African music still has a long way to go from its American counterpart, but for the most part, I think we're getting there. I think we are really getting there. But nonetheless, guys, welcome back to the Music Corner. I am Rossi. With the TMC guy, and today we are giving our review for our first review for a South African hip hop artist, Nasty C. We are going to be reviewing his new album, Free, which had just released this past Friday. Now, just to give a bit of a background on Nasty C, he's an African artist, all the way, from our side, our location, bruv. Um, Nasty C has been on a run, to say the least, from the late 2010s, with him coming up with songs like Hell No, and him blowing up in popularity within the country and beyond, getting some world renowned features and some co-signs from a lot of international artists. Now, Nasty C is a bit of a controversial figure within the country, but we aren't really going to be talking about him. Him as a person today. We're going to be reviewing over the music. We did also want to provide you guys with some South African hip hop music, or just South African music in general, which will be coming soon towards our algorithm. But yeah, we're just gonna get straight away over towards this album. But TMC guy, anything that you want to input before we do get into our first impressions?
Okay, well, yeah, not much to add on him because I've never actually listened to Nasty C before. I mean, I have heard of like Hell Nah from way back in like high school for me and stuff. So this is actually the first Nasty C album I've ever listened to. So yeah, not much to say. Just yeah, just ready to give my thoughts pretty much. So let's get right into it.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. I was pretty much the same for me. I've listened to a couple of Nasty albums here and there. He's not really one of my favorites, but I mean, he's recognized within our country, so why not, give it a go. Nonetheless, after him releasing three albums under Universal, Nasty C used Free to mark his departure and embrace what he calls a creative and personal liberation, which is sort of something different towards what I've heard from his previous project. Even though you can't really speak much about it, there is certainly some improvement with the whole trap heavy style that he was sort of embarking on, especially when he was venturing outside South Africa. But nonetheless, he is dealing with fatherhood more visually and more verbally within his music, which is very much recognized. Reconnecting with fans in lives such as Past the Ox, which is a pretty decent song in my opinion, and experimenting with some sounds that push beyond what he has done before, which I totally mentioned over earlier that he is definitely improving his production, and he is also improving his pen game in my opinion. Now, nothing too spontaneous from what I would normally listen to begin with, but there are some songs here where he does actually put his heart first and consider his loved ones and his fans over, bringing them solitude and sentimental messages over, for them to feel love, and for him to actually show that he's not just doing this for the amount of racks that he's building, even though it is quite a lot. But yeah, just some of my first impressions from over the song, not the song, the album. Sorry here. But TMC guy, please go ahead and provide us with your first impressions with this album. What did you think?
Okay, so for me, yeah, this album it has a really strong American influence. That's like what I can say on it on first listen. Like I almost feel like I'm not listening to a South African album when I listen to this. Like Leftie sounds like a Playboi Carti song through and through. Like really, like just the way they use their voice. They copy that Cardi baby voice as well. And even like on the other song, like Switch's ad-libs sound like Cardi or Travis ad-libs or something with that auto tune, yeah, and stuff. Like I swear, I thought like the next thing he was gonna say is "it's lit" or something like Travis or whatever. But like yeah, like you really feel the heavy American influence on this. Like there's also a very heavy melodic rap influence on this, like on the song "Head Up" and "10 Shooters." Like it reminded me of Lil Baby or something. Like and on top of that, they even had a boom 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 where they sounded like Westside Gunn or something on the song "Soft." And even on the song Ice, he sounded like 21 Savage when he started rapping. Like I legit checked for a feature credit on here, but it's just Nasty C on that track. Like 21 Savage isn't on there at all, even though it sounded like him. But like yeah, performance wise, he mimics a lot of modern American rap heavyweights, really. Even in the production, it's just trap drums galore on this. So, yeah, melodic rap, auto tune trap, all that is on this album. So, yeah, I honestly can't give it much for originality, to be honest. Only thing that made it sound South African were a few Zulu lines here and there, and him saying Yo Masa Bus and Kav on some of the songs. So, that's what immediately stood out for me, just how much he pulls from American rappers. But yeah, what about you? Do you want to get into your analysis right quick?
Yeah, I mean, all we're missing is scaife, and we pretty much have the whole dictionary in place. But
Mm.
nonetheless, yeah, this album is a 16-track album that covers a world of ranges. I will agree with the TMC guy that it is heavily influenced by a lot of the big heavyweight rappers from the States over today. Very trap heavy, very trap oriented, but not in the generic ways that you would think. Like my friend said here, hints of, you get some hints of Future here, maybe get some hints of another trap, a rapper. It just feels concisive in that aspect. But overall, sonically, free the album in itself is quite varied from what I was able to pick up. There are tracks with some hard hitting flows and trap influences, like Smoking, which are more aggressive and stands heavy. On other songs, the tone softens. Some guitar samples, some melodic hooks, and more emotional context that do ride through over the album. The theme of the album does present some resilience, some love, self reflections that also do pop up over. And this is the most, in my opinion, this is the most heart to heart that Nasty C has ever been with his audience, at least from the music that I have listened to. Maybe it's a matter of him improving, with him traveling and working with so many artists from the States and whatnot, or just him picking up those sort of hints, or just maybe him just growing as an artist in himself. It is pretty great to see, looking from the outside lens, since I'm not too much of a Nasty fan. But yeah, that's gonna be my first thoughts on the album. I think we can just go straight away and talk about the album in itself, also highlighting our key tracks here, or track highlights. TMC guy, take it away.
Yeah, okay. I think I'm gonna get into my lyrical analysis first, then maybe you can give your analysis, then I'll give my production analysis. So yeah, okay. So my lyrical analysis, you did touch on some things, but I wouldn't necessarily agree that it's too varied. I don't think I agree with you on that aspect. But yeah, overall, I can't speak too highly about the lyrics of the album. Really, like the rapping is also very subpar. Like Nasty C is far from being the best at rapping, to be honest. And the singing and auto crooning is also whatever for me, really. But yeah, lyrically overall, it's just, yeah, y'all niggas doubted me, but I made it. I get money, I get bitches. I'm trying to grind, nothing in the form of storytelling cuts or anything too deep on this album. It's really just a vibes and partying type of album overall. And there are some lyrics about grinding, believing in yourself, and appreciating God for his blessings, though, but that's really as deep as he gets on this album. But it's like he says the type of stuff you've heard in like 1,000 other songs. He's on some no matter what they say, keep your head up. And it's like, yeah, bro, like we've heard this message in like 1,000 songs. Like, what else are you gonna say? Like, work hard so you can live a soft life. And funny enough, that's exactly what he says in the next song called Soft. Like, he literally says, work hard so you can live a soft life. So it's like, yeah, it became kind of predictable like that. So yeah, originality for me really is lacking on this album. And the best song on this song lyrically is definitely That's What's Up, where he talks about his young family members reacting to his success and him trying to be a positive figure and role model. Also, how he wants to be a present father. It's the most positive and uplifting track on here, and I love the overall message of him trying to make his family proud. So, even though it's also not too deep of a track, it stands out amongst all the other pretty generic lyrics. And the song Evidence is absolutely horrible. I hate the song lyrically, and that chorus, it just sounds so weird. Like even the beat sounds so bad. The entire track just sounds like something some kid in high school would make. Early high school too, like grade 9 or something. But yeah, that's all I can say in terms of the lyrics. But what about you? What do you have on your mind?
Yeah, I don't really listen to Nasty C for lyrical content. As you said, I
Makes
think you put it
sense.
spot on that you listen to it for vibes. It's just sort of the point, you know. A lot of rap nowadays, even though it may be trap heavy, it's also flow heavy, you know, having a consistent and a very um engaging flow really helps the song build up to something greater that people can look forward to, despite the local content being very subpar to none in this regard. Which I don't really agree, given that I've heard way worse stuff from Nasty in the past. Even though the stuff that he may be rapping about is generic, I think he is putting them in, not to say clever ways, but in more intelligent ways than he did before. Not making it as braggadocious as he used to in his past, where he was bragging a little too much while keeping that trap heavy sense. These days he seems a lot more chilled, even though rapping about the same stuff. I think he's just finding new ways to put that context into his music. Is it repetitive? Yeah, it is. But at this point, the world is going to like what it likes, and the way that it moves in terms of trap being the biggest hip hop genre or subgenre nowadays. It's you know, it's not something surprising that he would actually follow over towards this route. But yeah, in terms of local content, that's gonna be my thoughts. But let's jump into the production. What did you think of the production team, guy?
Okay, I guess what you said in terms of the lyrics is kind of, I guess it is more like a vibes type of thing. Not every rapper is about like the lyrical content, but it's just like, for me, it's like he kind of does try to be a little deep here and then. And for me, it's just like, nah, it's not working, dude. Just like rap about dancing and fucking bitches, dog. Like leave that deep shit. But like, yeah, in terms of the production, the album is produced by some heavyweights in the SA rap game, such as MashBeatz, and there's also Ebenezer Maxwell, DoppyBeatz, and JustDan on here, amongst others. And Nasty C also produces a couple of the tracks, and I'm not too crazy on the production of this album, but again, it's not bad overall. I love the intro beat so much; like it has such a nice, hopeful, and aspirational feel to it. They fit the lyrics about perseverance and rising above adversity really well. It was a great way to kick off the album overall. I thought the guitar solo and bass line about halfway through the intro track were a nice touch too. And I thought it was a great idea to make the song Leftie a single. It sounds like the type of song that'll go crazy at house parties. And of course, having some of the most popular rap artists of this generation as a duo on the track would help generate hype for the album. And it's honestly one of the best tracks on the album. Like, I love the "Tlalang mo bo" chant in the back, the spacey synth elements in the beat, and the drums are so good. It's a very catchy track too. Like, it could have the best chorus on the entire album. And I love Shmokin's beat too. I love that lute minimal saxophone in it, and those neo soul esque chimes mixed in there as well, and the drums too. It's a pretty bare minimal beat, but I thought the producer did a good job on there. Switch also has a decent beat. I love the manipulated guitar in the beat which was just slapped onto some trap drums, and Head Up's beat kind of follows the same formula as well. So yeah, at this point, it becomes apparent what you get in terms of the overall production of this album. Like you'll get like an obscure instrument sample slapped onto some trap drums or something. So clearly, they're not reinventing the wheel for this album's production, but it's not unbearable to listen to either. On the song Soft, they kind of switch things up a little with like a dance hall ish, Afro beats ish type song, though. But that's really all you get in terms of variety, in terms of the production of this album. And the song Psychic has such a hard and dark beat. Sounds like some drive by shooting, creeping shit. It's probably my favorite beat on the album. And MSP, and I'm guessing it stands for Master Bus, has a decent ethereal beat, even though I really don't care for the lyrics. And I also thought it ended very weirdly too. Like they just turned down the volume gradually while Nasty C was still rapping. I really don't get that production choice, which just really put me out of it because I thought maybe it was me doing it with my volume till like not just exactly this
Yeah.
right, the producers who actually did that in the studio, which is I don't understand that production choice. But yeah, The songs "Selfish" and "Big Timing" for me just sound like some fruity shit. Like it sounds some fruity shit. Sounds like some pop song you'd hear on Disney Channel or something. Like not for me, but like I don't know, probably like it fits right into some little girl in grade four's playlist or whatever. And the song's "Other Plans" is a production highlight for me. Like I love the guitars in the back and the overall lush feel of the beat. And I love the outro track too, "Not Tonight." I thought the production was superb on that one as well. But yeah, what about you? What did you think about the production of this album?
Yeah, production was pretty decent. Some songs, some tracks were pretty good. I really did enjoy some of them here. I'm gonna highlight a couple that had some pretty good production. Leftie had this very trap centric, heavy vibe, but it was pretty good. Um, One emphasis that I wanted to put on Nasty, and I sort of wanted to do this with the chronological big three in SA, at least the young big three with Nasty C, Shane Eagle, and what's the other bloke's name? A Reese. You can really tell that Nasty C is taking a Drake approach from the differences that he's making between A Reese and Shane Eagle. But nonetheless, I just wanted to highlight that because this the production basically and the overall vibe of this album is giving Drake in a sense. He sort of tries to play that same persona in a sense, you know, with him talking about money and bitches and him making it in that aspect. Not as toxic, of course. We can see that there is some songs where he does try to put more of an emphasis of, you know, not giving up, you know, chasing your dreams, making it through the trenches, which is not something that you can really get from Drake, at least nowadays, which is pretty good. The production basically influences what he raps or sings about within this album, which works at times, but it's nothing too groundbreaking in my opinion. I mean, some of the beats here used from guitar samples are really impressive. Didn't really expect that at all, so that was a very nice touch. The mixing between heavy and softer moments is also something that I really do enjoy. Something going from, you know, hard to soft. There is a bit of a correlation where, you know, you can get some breaks in between, especially with me being a metalhead. It kind of rubs off as a similar vibe in a sense, even though this is hip hop music in general. But overall, production is nothing to, you know, scoff about. I don't want to say that it's meh because, you know, I know how hard production is to begin with, music production specifically. But overall, decent job. Nothing too groundbreaking. It's pretty all right. But yeah, I think we can go over towards our highlighted tracks, or do you wanna jump into what works, what didn't?
Yeah, I think let's go to our pros and cons first, then we can do the standout tracks afterwards. So yeah, okay. So for me, my pros for this, the songs could go hard at a house party. Like I really see that this album being bumped. Well, some of the songs being bumped heavily at a house party, like the song "Leftie." And yeah, there are a lot of catchy melodies and parts of various tracks as well. There are some parts of the songs that actually get stuck in my head. But my cons, yeah, it sounds completely unoriginal. It doesn't sound very original at all. It's a very generic album, quite frankly. It really doesn't stand out. It could just fade into the crowd for me, quite frankly. And the production can sound very repetitive. Like it's just a sample over some trap drums over and over, like I said. So like yeah, overall the album is kind of mixed for me. But like, what about you? What are your pros and cons?
Yeah, in terms of my pros here, let's see here. I did like some of the lyrical content, I'm not going to lie. I mean, with Nasty talking about fatherhood, freedom, letting fans in, it felt very authentic, especially from what he used to rap about, where that wasn't really the case. And I see that there's a theme when a lot of artists become, you know, parents, where they take up a new approach, which is something a bit different. It sort of changes character in a sense, which brings a lot of character development, for instance, which is sort of pretty good or it can be pretty bad sometimes. But I think that's the strongest thing about this album. Like I said, the production was pretty decent. But in terms of what kind of missed, this is definitely a generic trap heavy album. When it leans too heavy to that, it just feels very expectedness and sort of loses the uniqueness that it's trying to have. I feel like the album is a bit too ambitious for what it wants to be in terms of scope. The pacing dips in the mid section, in my opinion, where fewer songs start to stand out. And it just basically loses momentum. So it makes sense if someone would get bored by like track 10. As you know, this is a 16 track album, which is, leaning heavily towards that trap heavy sense where I've got to have like 15 to 20 to 25 songs in an album. It doesn't really work. I don't know why artists are still doing it these days, but whatever. My last con, not every experiment lands. Some songs feel like they could have been tougher or more focused artistically in that aspect, and yeah, it just felt overall bland. Like I said, it's sort of like I want to say meh in a sense because that's how the album sort of comes off. But I do also want to give some praise because these albums before that were not good, in my opinion. Yeah, a couple of good songs here and there, but overall not good. But yeah, I mean, pretty alright album, man. Good on you, Nasty. I'm proud of you, bro. But yeah, I think let's go ahead and move on towards our standout tracks. TMZ guy, what did you have?
Okay, well, I guess yeah, I kind of agree with what you said about like the bloat and stuff, and like how it loses momentum halfway through. That's something that I really noticed. Is like it started out really well, and then at some point I just got bored and was like, okay, whatever. And it's something
Basically.
that you're gonna see with like my standout tracks here. It's mostly in just like the beginning of the album. So yeah, my standout tracks. I really like the intro track. I really like Leftie. I like Shmokin. I like Switch. I like That's What's Up. I like Psychic, and I like Not Tonight. So yeah, what about you?
All right, yeah, my favorite tracks. Intro track is also nice. It's basically the same. It's most of the first few songs of the album here. The intro songs, Lefty, Smoking, Switch, Heads Up, Soft. I'm not too sure yet. That's what's up, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, a whole lot of scuff in this album, but hey. At least there's some songs that I could maybe, take away, put in my South African hip hop playlist, jam here and there. But yeah, those few songs, it's what it's gonna be. I think I'm gonna move on towards our rankings of the albums here. I didn't actually give it too much thought, but thinking about it now, I think it's going to properly land itself at a C plus rating for me. But TMC guy, what are you gonna go with?
Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm glad I finally got to listen to one of his records. He's always been a major artist in AC's rap game. Just was never interested in checking his stuff out. So yeah, overall, not a terrible album, guys, but I really can't say he blew me away. So I'm gonna give this nigga a nasty C.
That was great. That was great. I like that. I like that. I like that. But anyways, guys, that's our thoughts on NSTC's new album, Free. Like I said, we still have more content with South African about South African artists that we're about to drop some more reviews. Who knows? It might even drop, videos with a couple of them here and there. But nonetheless, guys, we've got a lot more coming along the way. We just appreciate you for staying with us. We apologize for the break. We are back and we'll keep you guys updated with what we got next. But nonetheless, it's been TMC Guy here. I'm Rossi, and it's us here at the Music Corner signing out. Take care, guys. Peace.